Lying is universally associated with flawed character and warped morality. From a psychological perspective, however, the ability to deceive is one of the most significant achievements of the human mind. People are complex and faceted social creatures, and as unpleasant as it may be, lying is an unavoidable part of the human experience. There is no doubt that lying can be a source of considerable distress and pain, and yet countless studies have demonstrated that the vast majority of individuals lie to some extent. The question which arises, therefore, is can we actually stop ourselves from lying? By exploring scientific theories and concepts, we hope to inform and empower our audiences. Please consider subscribing to this channel for even more content. Scientifically speaking, the emotional intelligence and psychological capacity which is required to lie demonstrates that it is one of our most sophisticated capabilities. From a young age, children learn how to conceal and manipulate the truth. In some individuals with frontal lobe injuries, it has been found that their ability to lie has been reduced. Despite it being such a common phenomenon, however, it is usually difficult to distinguish between false and true statements. This is perhaps what makes lying such a detestable and hated trait, because of how susceptible we are to it. With no way to definitely affirm the credibility of someone's statements, we have to place our trust entirely in that individual. When someone lies, therefore, they are shattering that trust and breaking that unspoken promise. It is for this reason that research into lying is so contentious, because when it comes to an individual's thoughts and words, there is no way to objectively verify it as the truth or as a lie. Throughout history, countless religions and philosophies of life have condemned lying as inherently evil and immoral. And whilst in many circumstances that is the case, it is important to understand that the matter isn't this straightforward or black and white. It is generally agreed that the truth is preferred in the vast majority of situations, because communication is the only way in which we can interact with one another, and we rely on being told the truth. A lie, on the other hand, may be necessary if someone wants to conceal or protect themselves from prying eyes or uncomfortable situations. Lying as a self-defense mechanism almost seems to be an instinctual behavior, because even young children will lie to their parents or a responsible adult in order to avoid getting into trouble. Speaking of young children, it would be unwise to protect them to such an extent that they are released into the world unaware that other people could potentially lie to them. Research into deception has revealed that the psychological processes which are required for lying are incredibly intensive, and it is much easier for us to say the truth than to create a lie. This indicates that we have evolved the ability to lie because it serves an essential purpose, whether it is for self-defense, because of societal and cultural pressures, or to build social standing. Everyone knows that we shouldn't lie, but completely avoiding lying simply isn't feasible. Even then, we tend to draw a line between relatively harmless lies and those lies which have the potential to cause pain or hurt others. There are some people who are pathological liars, and these people are characterized by their tendency to spread misinformation wherever and whenever they can. Some psychologists regard pathological lying as a disorder in its own right, and it can have a truly devastating effect upon not only the individual patients, but upon their family, friends, and anyone who interacts with them. As well as actual disorders, the reasons why we lie are numerous. We lie to protect someone's feelings from being hurt, to defend ourselves or our loved ones from an awkward situation, or to keep a secret which has been told to us in confidence. Alternatively, we may want to present a good image of ourselves so that we are likable and agreeable to everyone, which is definitely a more egotistical reason. There are also people who lie for the sake of manipulation, either to achieve a personal goal or to cause distress to someone. Nevertheless, it is an interesting paradox because lying seems to be a psychological mechanism which is instinctively relied upon in a vast number of social situations. With no way to distinguish between truth and lie, we rely upon one another, to be honest. If, or rather when, a lie is therefore discovered, it can lead to considerable distress, loss of trust, and perhaps even the end of that social relationship. On the other hand, in most social relationships, we are expected to lie in order to protect them, whether it is keeping a secret, sparing someone's feelings, or following through on a promise. To believe that humans could completely stop lying would be a hopeless endeavor. Instead, it is probably more realistic to say that we should think carefully about the consequences of everything we say, especially if it is a lie. Whilst the truth should be the default setting, there are certainly some situations where a lie is preferred and perhaps even necessary. On this channel, we always try to keep things honest, so hopefully you enjoyed this exploration as much as we did. And if that's the case, then make sure to like, share, and subscribe.